Hi folks, I'm Keith. I'm a real guy. I'm not a professional YouTube car reviewer, and I don't sell Fords for a living. I personally just bought this 2019 Ford F-150 XLT. In this video, I'm going to talk about the reasons why I chose the F-150, the cool features that this truck has, as well as how I negotiated my best price and what I actually paid for the truck. So let's get started. About 4 years ago, I bought this used 2004 Ford F-150. At age 50, it was the first pickup truck I ever owned. I really loved the utility and the four-wheel drive, which I need around here in the winter. But the truck had a lot of issues with rust, and despite my best efforts, the rust took over and I sold the truck 6 months ago. When it came time to buy another truck to replace it, the F-150 was my first choice. I was convinced by the positive reviews and consumer reports, recommending it as pretty much the top full-size pickup on the market. The fact that the F-150 has been the top-selling vehicle in the country for the last 42 years in a row didn't hurt either. Clearly, Ford is doing something right. I briefly researched the Toyota Tundra, as my other car, a Scion XB, has over 260,000 miles on it and has had amazing reliability. But the Tundra seemed significantly more expensive than the F-150, which meant I would be forced to buy used versus new. I didn't consider the Silverado or Ram. I just don't think the reliability is there yet, though I know a lot of people have had great experiences with those trucks. The only other vehicle I considered was a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. I love the idea of having a manual transmission and a lift-off top, but the towing capacity is not where I wanted it to be, as I'm considering getting an RV travel trailer in the future. The Unlimiteds are close in price to the F-150, but when I compared the two, the Wrangler just had too many compromises. So let's take a look at this F-150, the one I did buy. For me, price was a major consideration. As you know, the prices of these full-size pickups can easily reach over $50,000, and that was out of my budget. I'm a social worker who hates carrying much debt. With the F-150, I looked at the lowest trim level, the XLs, but the ones I found all had the base 3.3-liter V6. I needed a more powerful motor for possible towing. I looked pretty seriously at the STX. This is a trim option package on the XL line. It includes a lot of nice features like 20-inch wheels, fog lamps, Sync 3, and an 8-inch screen, which includes Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I seriously considered the STX, as I found a number of them with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost engine. But then I found this XLT with a 5-liter Coyote engine at my local dealer. The XLT has a lot of nice standard features, including the Sync 3, carpeted floor, the FordPass Connect Wi-Fi hotspot, and the keypad entry system. To me, it looked better than the STX, with the ruby red paint and the chrome bumpers and wheels. This particular XLT didn't have many options, just the 5-liter engine, a trailer hitch, a trailer brake, and upgraded paint. The things it didn't have, running boards and a bedliner, could be added later. I considered both the 5.0 and the 2.7 EcoBoost V6. Both are fantastic engines. While the EcoBoost gets better gas mileage, I like the simplicity and track record of the V8. This truck was also $700 cheaper than a 2.7 STX I was looking at, which negated some of the gas mileage difference. What also helped convince me of the superiority of the 5-liter engine was a video about which engine Ford service techs would themselves buy. The answer, by an overwhelming majority, was the 5.0. Let's take a look around this particular XLT. To me, it looks fantastic, while the STX can look a little gaudy with the colors and color-matched bumpers. I got the extended cab rather than the Super Crew because 1, it's only for just my son and I, 2, the lower cost, and 3, it's really hard to get a Super Crew with a 6.5-foot bed. For me, a 5.5-foot bed is impractical. The back seats in this truck are pretty small, but my son can fit back here, and the seats fold up for extra storage room. I also like the 170-degree rear door opening. The XLT has the keyboard entry, which is a bonus. You could go swimming or go for a hike or a run and lock your keys in the truck. Something else I had to consider about this truck was the size of it. My old 2004 F-150 easily fit in my garage, but the 2019 XLT is 7 inches taller, about 7 inches longer, and almost 1.5 feet wider. It would not actually fit in my garage until I removed some trim pieces off the side and the top. And even then, it's an extremely close fit. So make sure you measure your garage first. I refuse to park my vehicles outside, and these trucks are big. If it didn't fit, I would have bought a Wrangler. Let's take a look inside the truck. Unlike probably most buyers, I didn't want a center console. I really value bench seats for their versatility, and if you fold this one down, it doubles as a decent console. Ford did a great job designing it. At the dash, I love the analog gauges. I'm an old school guy in case you couldn't tell. The inner display on my XLT is good, but not great. The one on the STXs I looked at had more information and seemed easier to navigate, but this one gives me all the necessary information I'm looking for. Although I'm far from an expert on Sync 3, I love it. The phone hooks up easily through Bluetooth. If you plug your phone in, you've got either Apple CarPlay or Android Audio. That puts the apps you use while driving right on your screen as they would be on your phone. So there's no need to pay extra for a navigation system, as you've got Google Maps or Waze right off your phone. Simple and effective. This truck has the FordPass Connect system standard. This turns the truck into a Wi-Fi hotspot, which would allow you to stream online music or have your passengers use their devices through the truck's Wi-Fi. Ford gives you 3 months of complimentary service, but it's only 3 gigabytes. My son's friend killed about a third of that with one 20-minute Fortnite session. Data plans from AT&T are about $20 a month for unlimited data, so it's something I may consider in the future. This truck has the 10-speed Select Shift Automatic, which was introduced on the full F-150 line in 2018. It's not available on the base 3.3-liter V6, which gets the previous 6-speed. As a dedicated manual transmission driver, I was dragged kicking and screaming into an automatic. But this seems like a good transmission. It can be shifted manually by the up-down buttons on the column shifter. The 10-speed really helps the engine run at low RPMs when needed, which allows for the good gas mileage of the 5.0. I've been getting about 18 miles per gallon in mixed driving so far. Whether it's a transmission or the 5.0 power curve, the truck does seem to be a little bit sluggish at lower RPMs. But if you downshift, the power really comes on, and you know you've got a V8 under the hood. The sound can be a little intoxicating. This particular combination is rated for 9,000 pounds of towing, which should be plenty for anything I would ever consider. I had my last car 10 years, and I wasn't quite ready for the quiet and refinement of the Ford F-150. This thing is quiet and smooth. It rides just like a car. And I guess that's probably the reason why these trucks are so popular with everybody. One thing I do need to get used to is the size. It's bigger than I expected, and that's coming from a previous F-150 owner. I'm going to have to get some practice parking and maneuvering this truck. The rear camera helps tremendously. There's a rear sensor option available for $275, but I don't have that. I paid $34,223 for the truck off a $44,850 window sticker. That's about 24% off MSRP, which I think is pretty good. In fact, I couldn't find an F-150 for less, unless it had the base 3.3-liter engine. Let me give you some of my buying tips so you can get the best deal. 1. Focus on the bottom line price of the actual truck. Don't buy based on the amount of the monthly payment. Don't factor in sales tax or plates, as those are fees set by the state. Focus on the bottom line for just the truck, not including any trade-in you might have. 2. I didn't pay for any services to learn the true invoice price. My strategy is to do my research online and then visit several different dealers, letting them each know I'm a serious buyer. I tell each of them I'm looking for their best price and that I'm talking to other dealers. You might be told that the other dealers' prices are not realistic, but you'll be surprised at how quickly prices do drop. The salesman I bought the truck from called this a race to the bottom. It is. Use this to your advantage. Timing is everything. Toward the end of the year, there are plenty of leftover models on the lots. Once the next year's models are released, the deep discounts start from the manufacturers and dealers. According to Car Gurus, this particular truck was sitting on the lot for over 200 days, so I knew there would be motivation to offer me a good price. I visited multiple dealers several times over the period of several weeks in October. I rarely, if ever, saw another customer in the showroom. It was a slow month. Holding out until the end of the month is a pretty good strategy too. 4, I had my financing already arranged through a credit union ahead of time. It removes another way for dealers to make money off of you on the back end of the deal. 5, I preferred to work with a local dealer to build a relationship for later visits for warranty work or service. I wouldn't try to negotiate them down to the very last nickel in the name of maintaining a good future relationship. Well, that's it for the 2019 Ford F-150. I've only got a couple hundred miles on it, and I'm really excited to grow into the truck. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, and drop them below, and I'll do my best to answer them. In the meantime, stay tuned for more videos on the F-150 as I learn more about it. Thanks for watching.